14 albums in.
Yeah.
2024. LL Cool J. We're not gonna say LL Cool J is back because you ain't really been nowhere.
Well, it's definitely a reemergence, right? A return to music. I mean, I walked away from it well over a decade. You know what I'm saying? You could, in a lot of ways, you could say 2 because of the last experimental album I did was a small, independent kind of experimental thing. So I haven't had a major release in at least decade and a half or so, 2 decades. So it feels good to be able to, you know what I'm saying, touch the people with some new music and show them what's possible.
But I kind of knew you was coming back, and what really set it off for me was the Rock the Bells tour.
Yeah,
When the Rock the Bells tour came about, I was like, okay, you got so many fans because like you're like our first hip hop superstar, solo superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis Blow, Treacherous 3, and all those artists, Melly Mel. But like for the kids, when we were kids, like you were the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny, man. I love that, and I think about that, and then I look at people like Mick Jagger, and I look at artists like Bruce Springsteen, and even Bono to a lesser extent, and it just shows me what's possible, and it just shows you, that we can take it to the next level. And I think the thing about hip hop is that, see, people think about 50 years of hip hop, and we're just conditioned to think that that's like a long time, and the genre is old. But you realize 50 is not that old when you have somebody transition at 50. Then you say, oh, wait a minute, that's not that old. So hip hop is really not quite as old as the narrative would paint it. So what that means is there's room for us to see, artists evolve and go to the next level. We're just so used to, as a culture, we're like almost trained that if an artist has a run 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, they stop, they're finished. Or if they go away for X amount of time, they can't return. And a lot of that is because we're just now realizing the importance of the craft.
Right.
And a lot of artists don't pay attention to the craft or stay and don't continue to care about the world as the world evolves. You know what I'm saying? They get locked in mentally and crystallized and locked into one time period. You know what I mean? So I just want to show people what's possible in that regard. That's why I'm doing this. That's the main reason. My main motivation and inspiration is to just show people that we could continue, and that so when kids, when they start doing their music, and when they see that, oh, I could do it for like 40 years. I could do it for 50 years. I could do this like my whole life. I can, it's possible, and I'm just showing them that.
Well, we just have so many options. There's a lot of options, and as music evolves and revolves, I think what really put that seed out there for the black music and the urban music was touring. We finally got really hip to the touring game. We got outside the clubs, got into arenas, got into the big venues, started selling tickets, started selling merch, and it kind of clicked that because I made records 25, 30 years ago, doesn't mean, and you look at Maze, Frankie Beverly and Maze, and the Isley Brothers, and all these artists who did it, it kind of set off just a whole signal 100%. On what was possible.
100%,
and
100%.
And being on the road and being out there with the people made a lot of them understand that I could still make some new records.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, right? It's like, we can tour, yes, and we can tour with our day one fans, but we also have the ability, the same way James Cameron could come with a new movie, or Spielberg can come with a new movie, is the same way we could come with new contributions to hip hop that are impactful. Not just like a C+ or C- project, but an actual A+ project that impacts the culture. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with, you can't relate to people that you can't relate to. Like, in other words, if you don't understand what people are going through, how are you going to write songs that they connect with? The reason why, people understood what I was doing when I was a kid is because we were all experiencing a lot of the similar things. Now, what happens is people grow up, people get jobs, people forget about danger, people forget that, people are sleeping on the floor, gunshots are ringing out, they forget about the funny smells in the elevators, they forget about all the things, the danger in life, and then they try to, the only thing they want to do is rap about money on every single song, every day, all day long. And while sometimes that can be fun, because we like that, we also, as we evolve as human beings, we got to talk about something else, baby. Like, you got to bring something else to the table.
Some options.
you gotta bring something else to the table besides money talk. It's not the only. It doesn't mean you have to eliminate it. You shouldn't. Like my album has sprinkles of that, but there are other subjects that we have to. Like there's a reason why we love Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Prince is Prince. There's a reason why these artists, even Mike Jack. There's a reason why their songs are timeless, because everything is. You can't become successful and then only sing about success. Like it's the most bananas. It's bananas.
How crazy is it for you to see and witness a 7 or 8 year old kid singing a Michael Jackson song word for word?
I love it. It's not crazy at all. I understand it because, most people experience listening to their parents' music while their mother cleans up. A lot of people, especially in the black community, in most communities, like your parents are cleaning, your mother, your father, whatever, people in the house, you're gonna grow up. So that seems to me to be pretty normal. The thing is, can you continue? Like Mike is a perfect example. He started at 8 years old. He made hits his whole life.
Whole life.
I mean, so why should hip hop be any different? And so that's my thing. And the other thing I often tell people is that, the other little pet peeve that I've been telling people is that there's nothing wrong with being a rap artist or an MC. Yes, I do other things. I can name a plethora, a myriad, you name the word, of things that I do other than this. But I'm okay with you calling me a rapper. I don't need to validate my existence by you calling me a businessman, or by this one saying he's an entrepreneur, or by this one saying he's a... No. This is what I do. And that's okay. That's enough. Because if you impact the culture, you could change the world with that. And I think that that's important, because we got to take pride in our art forms. We can't get in this thing where this is only a bridge or a stepping stone to something else. If you're committed to
hustle.
It's not a hustle. It's a hustle for some. But in that case, being a nurse is a hustle for some. And doing hair is a hustle for some. But you know what? There's a difference between the girl or the woman or the guy, the person that does hair that loves it, and the person that does it as a hustle. There's a difference in the woman that cooks or the man that cooks because he loves it, and the person who just wants to open a restaurant. There's a difference. And so when you do it because you love it, you know what I'm saying, you get better results.
We were just talking about that off camera, and to what you're saying, we was talking about how you coming back, making new music now, and you started in '85, and for you, I guess the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing, because when you came in the game, there were no kids for you to see who had did what you had done and made a lot of money. So when you came in the game, it wasn't about money, and coming back in 2024, it's not about money, because now you already got money.
Yeah, well, it was 84.
84?
Yeah, it was 84.
First project in 85.
Yeah, the first
84.
album was 85. You're correct. And what it is that, yes, we all want to make money, and money is a beautiful thing. The money comes from being excellent. Like surgeon,
it's the payoff
lawyer,
for the passion.
surgeon, lawyer, basketball player, mechanic, dentist. The money comes from being excellent. So the focus needs to be on whatever your craft is, like really focusing on that craft and being amazing at it. Guitar player, saxophone player, like whatever it is you do, drummer. That's where the money comes from. So I think that's the focus. So yes, when I got into it, I wanted to express myself. I wanted my voice to be heard. That was the real main thing. I accomplished that. Now, dreams don't have deadlines, but you do have to set new goals. So now it's like, okay, let me show you what's possible. Let me show you the flip side of it is, let me show you I can still play the guitar, so to speak, that I still can handle the rock. When you listen to the song and you say, oh, he can still rap. Like, it's funny to me.
Never forget.
That's funny to me, but I do understand it. So it's like, oh, he can still, like Prince didn't forget how to play instruments because he was in Paisley Park for 2 years chilling. Like, it doesn't work that way. But it can. But you're not wrong, because it can if you don't stay curious and stay excellent in what you do. But that's the thing, right? Let's inspire him. Let's have some fun with it. You know what I mean?
Now, NCIS.
Yeah.
17 years.
No, not that long. But I did 15. 15, yeah.
15. Now, we talked previously, too, about this, and we talked about how you got on NCIS, and there was a show that you did a couple episodes for that led to NCIS. What was the show before?
So I did a show, a drama called House. And when I did it, I was like, you know, I had done so much music and I had a lot of hit songs. I was like, oh man, I want to give myself a new challenge. So I was like, so I told my team, like, yo, I'm gonna try a new challenge. Let me, you know, because I had, you know, acting all along in certain movies and stuff. So I said, I want to try a drama because I enjoyed the process. I thought the show would last 2 years, B. I thought I'd be right back doing albums, and you know, like I thought it was like, yo, it was like Dad went to the store, he ain't come back for 15 years. You know what I mean? I was just going to get a half gallon of milk. I mean, I didn't know I was gonna be, you know what I mean? But that's what happened. So I didn't want to walk away from the success. You know, once I committed to it, you know, you got 250 people here. They all counting on me. I'm sitting there scratching my head every time we come up for renewal, which I'm happy. I was happy to do it. I enjoyed it. I'm very grateful. But at the same time, I was like, you know, like I'm not on tour. I'm not. You know, my day one fans, they tired of defending me in the barbershop. I ain't made I ain't made a record in 400 years. They can't defend me in the barbershop no more. They mad at me. You know, then
everybody else is a better rapper now.
Yeah. On top of that, I done dropped a couple of experimental albums that didn't have the same cultural impact. So that's like it's leaning on that. So it's like
No, with them, no. The barbershop talk is on this side of the barbershop talk is, oh, he done fell off.
Oh yeah, they love that. But that for me,
and on this side of the barbershop, they with the no, you forgot.
Yeah, and that's when I took it personal, and that's when it was personal for me. Remember, you know what I mean? Like I love that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's inspiring. Like I love when, you know, I'm weird. Like I love when people think I can't do stuff like this.
But I think
that's fantastic for me.
I think people don't. The general public don't really understand how real of a person you are, because you know how we put celebrities and artists on a certain level, like they superhuman, like it's something different about them than everybody else. I think people don't understand how real you are and how you relate to everyday people on a personal level. Like you can't talk to everybody, but the people that do know you and have experience being around you, they know. Like me and you sitting in Papados, kicking it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Good food too. Yo, you know what it is that so first of all, like I told somebody this earlier. When I walk in a room, people see a famous guy and they see a familiar face and all that. But see, that's a byproduct of me loving my art. I'm not famous just to be famous. So although I may be famous and be well known, and you see a guy, it's like a poster or a TV screen walking in a room or something, the reality is I love my art first. That's one thing. Secondly, when you talk about artists and real, the only difference between, like, you know, it's the area of focus and the level of commitment. That's what's going to separate an artist or like a championship caliber player, basketball player, or Super Bowl. You know, like it's the area of focus, the level of focus, and the level of commitment to what it is that they do. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a everyday person. The only like a lot of people aren't willing to. They're willing to work as hard as is humanly possible, but it isn't always in the area that they truly love.
Right.
And so that's the kind of the difference, because my grandfather worked hard. My grandfather, you know, I still got his shoe shine box. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for a long time, I wouldn't even let people shine my shoes because it just bothered me, because I hated it. But then one day a guy checked me and said, yo, that man, that's a job for that man. But it used to bother me because my grandfather had to do it, you know, but I understood. So, but I say that to say, basically, you have to have the courage to go after what it is that you truly want to do. That's the thing that separates people, because people work hard all day long in many different areas.
But don't be doing nothing.
Well, they're doing something, but what it is they're working hard, but they're working hard, and at the same time, they're believing that it's not possible for them.
To
you
go
know what
to
I'm
the
saying?
next level.
Like, you know, so you know, they talk about, you know, faith without works, and we're familiar with that, the biblical term, faith without works. But at the same time, it's like, what do you have faith in, right? And it's not just faith in God. I'm talking about on a level of faith in you and yourself. Like, do you really believe you can do that? Are you willing to sacrifice to get that? or are you just going to keep this job that you hate because you're afraid? Like, those are those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Take that shot.
you got to believe in you. You got to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in you, man. Like, and a lot of people, that's the issue that they have. They don't believe in themselves.
Your level of commitment when it comes to music and TV and movies, and family, where do you say that was instilled in you from what point?
Well, you know,
I think I pretty much know the answer, but I want you to tell the people how important it was for you.
Well, I was blessed with like my grandmother and them and my mother and them put good software. Like, ultimately it's software. Like, it's just software programming, right? Like, you know, I'm a little kid and my grandmother, you know, if a task once begun, never leave it till it's done. Be thy labor great or small, do it well or not at all. You know, now go down there to Piggly Wiggly and get us, 2 gallons of chitlins. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm in Columbia, South Carolina for the summer. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of a thing. It's the, you know, it's what you tell your kids. You know what I'm saying? It's what you tell yourself. Like, that's a big part. Because if you don't believe you could do things, you're not gonna try nothing. You know what I mean? So, for me, that faith in God, that belief in myself, that what's inside of me, the God in me could come out and I could contribute, I could have some fun, I could build, you know, I could do whatever I put my mind to. Like, you need that. Like my mother telling me, Todd, you can do anything you put your mind to. I need that. I needed that. So a lot of it is programming. Like, people program their kids. You know, like, if you tell your kid every day, like, as whether it's true or not in terms of the current environment, if you tell your kid every day you can't do something because society is not going to allow you because of how you look or your skin or this and that, if you tell them that every day, they're going to be a failure.
They're going to believe
they're going to believe it, and they're going to be a failure.
The force.
It doesn't mean that it's not. I didn't say it's not true. I did not say that it's not true. I did not say that. I'm saying that if you teach them that certain things aren't possible because of the circumstances, that will hold them back. Not that it's not true, because we know, God knows that, Nina Simone sung about it. We know what's true.
Like you said,
you know what I mean? Like, we know it's true, but
if you got that passion, you really put in that work.
You gotta have passion, you gotta have belief, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you got that fire, then the rest, you know what I mean? You can, you know what I mean?
Talk to me about The Force.
So The Force is like, this album, I basically, I called Q-Tip up, right? The way it started was I had a dream. You know what I'm saying? Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest came to me in a dream and all that, right?
Wow.
And I was working on a project with another producer, and Phife was like, yo, that album you working on is gonna be dope. And I'm like, yeah? And he's like looking at me like, man, he gave me a look like, you might want to rethink it. So I always follow those intuitive leadings, right? So I hit up Tip. It weighed on me. Yo, Tip, what's up? He said, yo, what's up, big bro? I'm like, yo, I want to do an album, man. He said, well, okay, really? What kind of album you want to do? I said, I want to do the blackest pickle juice, pimento in a potato salad, fried okra, damn black-eyed peas, smoked neck bone turkey. I want to go there and go crazy. He like, yeah? I'm like, yeah. He said, say less. So we went to the studio, and I worked on it. And then The Force, what it is The Force is an acronym. Frequencies of real creative energy, right? Because it's like how you vibrate. How are you vibrating on this? Where's your spirit at? Getting your spirit aligned, being self-aware. And then also just talking to the people. So what I did was during the pandemic, I got a chance to be anonymous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got to put the mask on, I had the shades on, a hoodie and all that, all black Timbs. I'm running all over New York. I'm on the subway by myself. I got the car to drop me off. I'm going up in the projects, elevators. I'm walking through hallways. People don't know they standing next to me. I'm in elevators. And I did this for like weeks, like a long time. I documented it on the gram. And I got a chance to see the world again and like to really be exposed to the world again. Because, let me tell you something, even just having a good job, like even doing stuff like this, you forget about danger. You forget about the world, what's going on out there. You forget about the little things. You could get in a place of where you're judging people for attitudes that you really don't understand. You dig?
And it's dangerous.
Yeah, but the disconnect is like not having the empathy to understand where people are at. but then wanting to make a song that they're supposed to relate to. Like, how you doing that? Like, in our genre, because, hip hop is like, it's like folk music, right? But you gotta know the folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop is not, this isn't like pop dance music where I sing a song, somebody gives me a chorus and I dance around and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that. This is folk music. So you have to be able to relate to people. You gotta care about people if you're a writer. And I'm a writer. So I have to be able to connect with the people. So that was a great opportunity for me. And it was great. And then the other part of it is, by doing this album like this, the specificity, it's not exclusive. In other words, it doesn't exclude other people. It includes the world. It's for the world. Like, prime example, we talked about Bob Marley. Bob Marley made, how Jamaican can you get? Right? Like, this is reggae. Like you can't, but the whole world vibes to it because of that specificity, because he was true to who he is. So by me tapping into the truth of my culture, it opens it up for the world, for everybody to enjoy it, as opposed to me trying to fit in, or for me trying to come out sounding like Lil Baby today, or Gunna, or LL trying to sound like, Thugger, or trying to sound like Future, or, you name the artists, who are all talented, I respect them all. Like, I listen to their music, I appreciate it. I'm just saying, you don't want to hear LL trying to do that, and you also don't want to hear me trying to be pop. So that was the thing. So by finding that voice and doing that, you're able to get out there and really touch the world, you know what I mean? Does it make sense?
Of course. So we're getting ready for the big release date. The countdown is on.
September 6th. It comes, and it's a lot of fun. And the artists I have on it, the Q-Tip, did an unbelievable job with the production. And, the songs that I put out so far, the luxury that I've had with the songs that I put out so far is that back in the days, I probably couldn't have released these songs because they would have just been album cuts. And the world wouldn't have got a chance to hear these kinds of songs because I would have needed to immediately go to a melodic chorus and immediately try to think about what's gonna, be right away for the radio and right away, and I didn't have to do that with this. So I'm able to give you songs that display story and songs that display skill and have some fun with it. I do have the melodic things like that are crazy, but that'll come later. Like, I got a joint with Saweetie that is just, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's hilarious.
So you didn't want to you didn't want to hit him with that first, because I guess the internet takes everything so worldwide and everybody gets a chance to sample and hear what they really like.
I just wanted them to hear me rap again. They needed to hear me rap first. Like, let's get that out the way. I know how to ride a bicycle, honey. Oh, you still know how to do this? Yeah.
Well, we was at BET and I saw Marsha, I saw Common and Pete Rock, and we were having that conversation about, like, it's amazing how, like, real artists from that generation has a chance to make music because they already have an audience, but they now understand that other people from other generations appreciate and love that music.
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, man. The same way families hand down Rolling Stones albums, they hand down LL Cool J albums the same way. There's no difference. So you're gonna have, the same way my mother had me listening to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and the OJs and Teddy P and, everybody you could think of, like, from those, the same way these kids, so they're familiar. But here's the difference, though. The thing is, if you want them to be even remotely interested in what you're doing now, then you got to make something crazy. When you press play, people got to like it. Because it doesn't matter what your resume says. You can't be successful in entertainment with just a resume. The resume may get people to sit at the table, but once they taste the food, they got to like it.
Yeah, what are you doing now?
What have you done for me lately, baby? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
You had Rock the Bells, you had Boom and
It's
System,
like dating,
you had I Need Love.
You
What
kissed
got
her once
now?
last year. How long will that last?
When is the next Rock the Bells tour?
So it was the fourth. Like, I'm gonna go on tour with the Force with this album probably next year at some point. I will go back on tour. There will be other shows in between that. I do have a couple of dates that we're looking at now, and I'm gonna do some special things. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely want to come back to Atlanta, come back to the arena. We're gonna do it big. I'm gonna I'm gonna show people, by the grace of God, I'm gonna show people, man, like what's possible with this thing. And we're gonna sell out arenas and we're gonna, do stadiums and do things that the way it should be done. It's coming.
Now, the Rock the Bells brand from the beginning, from day one, from the 80s, is a huge brand. You have the Rock the Bells tour. Do you own the tour? Is that your tour? The festival?
Yeah. It's my company.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Everything about it. Yeah, of course. I mean, I have investors, people that have put money in, but I'm the majority shareholder. And, we built a company that is really dedicated to uplifting timeless and classic hip hop. Remember, 7, 8 years ago, these conversations, all these things, a lot of people thought this wasn't even possible. It wasn't until I took Rock the Bells and said, you know what? I felt like our culture was being commoditized. I felt like people were saying, yo, if you're not on the charts right now, today, you have no value. But in every other genre, Garth Brooks, you ain't had an album in 472 years. We love you anyway. Rakim, you ain't having an album in 12 years. Sorry, buddy, you're finished. It's like, nah, it doesn't work that way. We respect Garth. I respect Mick Jagger. I respect Bob Dylan. And I respect Rakim. And I respect Nas. And I respect Common. And I respect, you see what I'm saying? And we have to treat our artists that way.
We have to.
Queen Latifah, give Queen Latifah her love. You know what I'm saying? Let her have her career and let her blow up. So it's like, that was why I started Rock the Bells. So what I did was I gave Run DMC shares in the company, and I gave, Salt and Pepper a piece of the company, and Roxanne Shante, and Big Daddy Kane, and, quite a few other artists, Grandmaster Caz, so that we could see this culture be elevated. And that led to seeing Dre and Snoop at the Super Bowl. And that led to all of the various things that you've seen in this reemergence of classic hip hop. That's because I made that decision. Like, I was tired of just watching people, like, kind of discard, everything that these artists did just because they weren't on the charts currently. Like, it's absurd. And it also, like, was bothering me because it's like, there's this weird kind of thing that with the internet, because people are so smart. Well, a better way to say this, there's so much information available. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't necessarily smart because you got the information.
It's a lot of bad information.
I mean? A lot of moral, that's debatable, right? But there's so much information available that people, they judge success. They almost have all of these different criteria that they have to check, or boxes to check, before they call you successful. I don't care how much money Miles Davis had. It doesn't matter. Charlie Parker. It doesn't matter how much, how much money he had. It's what did he do for our culture? What did he do? Bird, what did Bob Marley do? I don't know what Marvin Gaye's bank account looked like or his estate planning. It doesn't matter. Marvin Gaye changed the world with his music. So I just kind of felt like the Melly Mel and and the Big Daddy Kane and the Ice Cube and no matter where they're at, I just felt like they needed that respect. So that's why I started Rock the Bells, and took the IP back and started the company and the channel, and started that channel on satellite, because I wanted to see us respected, like bottom line, you know what I mean? So the record dropped September 6th. It's 14 songs. I have everybody not everybody, but I have people like Snoop Dogg on it, and Nas on the record, and Busta's on the record, Eminem's on the record, Saweetie's on the record. I have 3 young artists, because I made a vow that's why I called it the vow. I made a vow that I wouldn't just put superstar guest appearances on my record, because not that it's easy. Not that it's so easy, but those are my peers, and I can make those calls. But I said, let me give some other kids who are not signed to me an opportunity to just make their world a little bit easier and better. So I had this kid, Mad Squabbles. He's from Philadelphia. Don Pablito's from Queens, and then I have a kid named Jay Sand from Lafayette, Louisiana. And I put them on the record, on a song, The Vow, to give them an opportunity, right? And so with Saturday Night Special being the first single, when I wrote the song, it's really a song about integrity. It's not about judgment, because I don't believe in judging people. I don't believe in running my mouth, and I don't believe in judging. I just don't do that. But the song is about the different characters and archetypes that you meet in life. We put it through a street hustler lens. However, it applies everywhere. Always keep your word and always pay them back applies in every area of life. Whether you're, whether you're going to pass the bar, whether you're a lawyer, you're going to school, whether you tell your dad something, whether you borrow money from your mama, whether you're your auntie, your uncle, always keep your word, always pay them back, always applies. And it's a way to stay alive in this world, right? Because one thing you learn, especially for those who have grown up in rougher communities, is having manners and keeping your word will help you live longer. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to say pardon me when you step on somebody's shoes can keep you alive. When people are stressed and it's hot outside and they got a stick on them and they just tight. You know what I mean? It's better to just say pardon me, right? So it's about the different archetypes, the daredevil type, the shrewd, the boss player, etc., right? That's Saturday Night Special. Passion is me, like there's an old statement, I said it to you off camera. If you did then what you're doing now, would you be here now? That's a question a lot of times that you can ask yourself. It's a kind of a complicated thought, but if you take the time and you're patient with the thought, if you did then what you are doing now, would you be here now? So my answer to that is what I did then was be passionate. So in order to be here now and to really be in this spirit, I need to remain passionate. You know what I'm saying? You have to find a way to always make it the first date in your life, when you're dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the passion is about me really putting the passion into what I'm doing, and then taking people on a lyrical dance that kind of, I think, just goes over people's. It's going to be fun for people to decode that record over the years as they listen to those songs and listen to those lyrics and passion over and over again. You'll find so many new different ideas and metaphors in it. It's crazy, but you got to really listen to it. You know what I mean? So that's it. Passion. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
We count down to the day, the force. We thank you for coming by, Odyssey V103, for this sit down to talk about the project.
Victory 103, baby.
I got one more question, though.
What up?
You did something really crazy. I want to figure out how you pulled this off. You did a Gap commercial.
Yeah.
With a FUBU hat on.
Yeah.
And I was talking. What's Damon's partner name from FUBU?
Keith.
He came to my show a few months ago, and we talked about all that. But I was talking to Peanut, and DJ Peanut, and we was talking about, man, you got to ask him about wearing the FUBU hat in the Gap commercial.
Yeah, my thing is like, listen, man, ain't gonna hurt them, man. They be all right. You know what I'm saying? They be all right,
and
man.
a lot of people,
Right,
most of us in the United States, like with the music too, don't understand how big the world is. So much bigger than 285 and I-95 and 610 and 635. It's like we don't understand that FUBU has still been making a lot of money international.
Yeah. Listen, I'm one of the owners of FUBU, and the thing was that I just felt like I'll do the Gap commercial, but I want to give them some love. So I put the hat on. And then they asked me, a couple of the executives, the Gap executives, like, yo, well, I don't think you can wear the hat because we got to get something with no logo because it's not cleared. And I said, no, I own it. He said, okay. And then,
But can you still take it off?
No, I own it. I'm aware. Okay. So we signed the waiver and like, yeah. But then for us buyers on the low, you know what I mean?
A lot of records.
Listen, man.
A lot of TV, a lot of movies, a lot of commitment, a lot of passion,
a lot of fun. Yo, listen, man. At the end of the day, I only
Chris Latimer, your boy's here.
I only do this. Yeah, Latimer, my man Latimer. I only do this for fun. Everything. Like since I started. That's the main thing. Only reason people want money is to have fun. Only reason people want to do half the stuff they do is because they want to have fun.
Before we finish this up, I'm gonna tell you this one last one. Me and Chris was talking one day, and he was like, man. He's like, LL is like, when MTV Cribs came out, he was like, man, if you saw, LL would never let these people come in his house. If you saw his house, it's like, his backyard is like Disneyland.
Yeah, I gotta be real with you. If my backyard was like the stage, I wouldn't let him come in my crib, man. Walking around in my house with no cameras talking about, yo, this is my refrigerator. What? Listen, man, That's what I tell Simone and them, man. That's why I had to get another spot, man. I had to get another spot too, because they, pictures all over. Like, yo, stop taking pictures on the internet. Girlfriends, fisheye lenses, filters. I'm in the background with some sweatpants on, bending over, grabbing something. Everybody's like this. It's just like, come on, man. People walking around with phones to the left, like, it's bananas. Barbecue feel like a daggone appearance. You know what I mean? You had a barbecue at your house and it feel like an appearance. Like, you know what I mean?
Signing autographs.
Standing at the top of the steps, taking a breath before you go downstairs. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. I wouldn't mess with that. Man, listen, at the end of the day, man, you know what? All you really need, I mean, it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You get you some food and shelter, you get all what you need, right? But at the end of the day, this chair right here, a remote control on the TV, some food.
Good.
I mean, you great. I mean, keep it real. I mean, I don't care how big your house is. You still got rooms you don't even go in. And you have an apartment. You have a 2-bedroom and don't go in that other apartment, that other bedroom. 2 times a year you go in there. You gotta, looking for a turtleneck or something. You ain't even going in there. It's like all of it is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Let me tell you something about it. Yes, I have money. Yes. And we can get money.
You got a lot of money.
You
got a lot of money.
But I'll tell you something.
You got a lot of money.
But check this out.
You've been getting money for a long time.
Yeah, but check this out.
A lot of money for a long time.
But check this out. The reality is most people, listen, most people only want to have a bunch of money to not use it.
Just to say they got it.
Yeah, think about it. Most people just want to have a bunch of money to not use it. They want to use this much. This is what they'll say. They'll say, I need this much money to buy all of this stuff, and then I want all of this money just sitting over there that I don't use. You don't even want it. You just want to know you got it. If I called you today and told you right now, yo, I gave you a check for, let's just say, here's a check for $10 million for you to spend, and guess what? You have $600 million in the bank, or whatever amount, right? And you would spend a certain amount, and at a certain point you would say, okay, I'm gonna leave that. Even if you didn't have it, you'd be happy. You get a check from your job, you don't even have the money yet, you got a promise note, you're already happy. It's all psychological. You ain't got the money yet, you just got a piece of paper, you got a check, but you're already happy. So what am I saying? Basically what I'm saying is it's okay to get money, it's a beautiful thing. We want more money, we wanna be rich, we wanna be abundant. Yes, you wanna have that life, yes. But don't get so consumed by that you don't do what you love. Right. You know what I'm saying? Don't get so consumed by that you don't do what you love. Because if you do what you love, you'll get that. It'll come.
It'll come.
It will.
The money will chase you.
Listen, as a society, like, look, let's keep it real, man. You go on the internet, man, everybody hate rich people, and all of them want to be rich. It's like, make up your mind, baby. Make up your mind, man. What are we doing here?
What we doing?
Let's make up our minds here. All right? Everybody, oh, Elon Musk, he has too much money. He wants to give you something. Really? It's like, come on. Like, so that's my thing. It's just like, let's get money, let's be successful, let's do great things, yes. But just, like, do what you love. Try that. You know what I'm saying? Try that.
Todd Smith, LL Cool J, The Force is on the way. Y'all get ready. New album, tour, TV. The cell number that we talk on is directly connected to my Zelle. So.